once again, 10 years ago, I was in high school just liking a camera and taking pictures on my phone. So, like, I wouldn't have worked this hard and gone this far for nothing. And that's why, like, keep going is, like, super, super important to me, because you just got to keep going on the path that you're on, because you never know where it's going to take you.
Yeah. Hi, welcome back to another episode of If You Build It with my girl China. What's up? What's good?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good.
Alright, let the folks know who you are, where you from, and what it is that you do.
Alright, well, my name is China Keys. People know me on social media and on my website for my photography as Made in China. I am a photographer specializing in music, lifestyle. I like shooting people that are in love, but mostly music. I've been a photographer for the last 6 years, but I have loved photography and been involved in photography for the last, I guess, 10 to 12, so. Okay. Yes.
When did photography start for you?
Photography started, I always say this, it sounds so dumb, but I had like a digital camera, like the little Kodak Coolpix kind of ones that I would take to school, and I would like take pictures of myself, but like on a self timer, and this is when I would like dress up going to school, and like I just liked taking pictures of myself, and I thought they looked like creative and cool or whatever. And I think that really kind of sparked it. Sounds weird, but that is kind of what sparked it. And then I took a photography class in high school in 11th and 12th grade, learning about like the ins and outs of the darkroom and a bit of Photoshop and Lightroom. So that's kind of where it started for me.
Okay, what high school was this at?
This was at Lackey in Charles County, Maryland, down in the Cut. That's where I'm from. I'm from Charles County, but I live in PG now.
Okay, cool. So tell me about that darkroom experience.
The darkroom was cool. It really like introduced me to something that I had never touched before, because even though at that time like we had like the chocolates and MV2s for the cell phone cameras, or like the little Nikon Coolpix or Kodak whatever's, I had never really gotten introduced to like the beginnings of photography when it came to the film world. So I thought that was cool. That was like one of my first introductions to really understanding photo. So you know, being able to just go outside and capture different scenes and all the scenery. That was when I was really big on like landscape photography and like taking pictures of architecture. I really liked architecture and finding the way, like looking at different angles of the way buildings looked and stuff like that.
What's your favorite kind of architecture?
What is my favorite kind of architecture? I don't know. Like, it would just be like different buildings in the city. Like the way that they're, like the way that you could look at a certain building instead of just looking up. Sometimes you could go to the side or like duck down, or like if you take a picture of it facing this way, just straight up, it looks totally different. So those type of angles were always cool to me. But yeah, in photo class, I learned how to develop and like use the stop bath and all the technical pieces of the darkroom. And that was pretty cool to you know, have that experience so young. And then I guess after that, I learned a bit of like skills in like Photoshop and Lightroom in the next class, which also was cool because I learned how to, you know, use some of those like editing techniques that I still use to this day, like clone stamp and healing brush and all that type of stuff. But then I also like remember I learned how to, because I learned how to do that, I made my own graduation announcements because I took the proof of the graduation picture that I wasn't paying for, and I just copied it, and I just took out the word proof using Photoshop.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I was just able to learn a couple of cool skills during that time.
And you finesse.
Yes.
Yes.
Always finesse. Always finesse. And then after that, I moved to PG. I started going to Bowie State.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Bulldogs.
Shout out to the Bulldogs.
Always.
Okay.
But I didn't have that darkroom access anymore. Because this was at the time when they didn't have the Fine and Performing Arts Center built when I got there. So they didn't have a darkroom. They didn't have photography. Any of those type of things. So
how did you improve the talent?
I started using my phone, honestly. I figured, you know, as long as you have an eye for something, it doesn't matter what equipment you use.
Yeah.
So I went to an exhibit called Artomatic, which is pretty cool. They like take a building that's about to get demolished and like have hundreds of artists just showcase their work.
Yeah.
So I went there before I went to Bowie. I remember it was like the summer, and there was a photographer that solely did mobile photography. She only did pictures on her cell phone, but like the stuff did not look like it was on the cell phone. And this was before it was an iPhone 12, iPhone 13. This was on like, I don't even think I had an iPhone at that time. So like, you know, it was, you know, working with what you got. And I thought that was so cool. And I was just like, I want to do stuff like that. So
do you remember what year this was?
This was 2011. Yes. So I started taking pictures on like my iPod Touch and on using my phone and just editing them on my phone. And I just really liked the way that those looked.
Yeah.
During that time, I also was able to like interact and work with some of the photography community at Bowie. Because if you didn't know, there are a lot of photographers, famous ones right now, that came out of Bowie State.
You want to reference them?
Oh yeah, definitely. So of course, Vivid Dope, Kyrie went to Bowie. I was envious of Kyrie when he was there because because he would just walk around with his camera, and I don't think I had a camera at the time. So I was like, I should do that. I could do that.
So Vivid had a camera before you?
Yes.
But he told me you're the reason he still does photography to this day.
I could kind of see that, but that's special. That's special, but yes, he definitely had a camera before me. Brandon, his Instagram is DMac the Realist. He actually sold me my first camera.
Okay.
Reese, Ryan, Roland, who's like a super famous influencer now. He's really cool. He's still dope with his pictures. But yeah, these are the people that I like decided to, you know, surround myself with when I was at Bowie. I also was in like a photography club. And like all during this time I didn't have a camera.
So you were having this whole experience without having a shooter on you. It was just you.
It was me and my phone. I was just taking pictures.
So you always had an eye for photography from when you were young to current.
Yes, that's what people have always said to me. Like when I would post random cell phone pictures, they'd be like, "Oh, this looks cool. I never would have thought that you could make something look like this." Like I remember it was this picture of like you know, the helicopters that fall out the tree. Like I'll show you later, but like they were like on this table in my grandfather's backyard, but the way they were looking just looked so cool to me. They were just like all standing up, so I like took the picture, and nobody thought that I did it on my phone, and they were like, "Oh wow, I wasn't expecting you to do this. You really have an eye for photography, blah, blah, blah." And like people started saying that more and more, basically. And then I had a friend, Brandon, he was the one that had told me, like, "You need a camera. Like, you doing this all on your phone, you need a camera." I was like, "Yeah, you're right." So then, random, but I won a game show, and I used that money to buy my first camera.
Yeah. Do you remember what game show this was?
It's called the Black College Quiz. It actually was on TV.
Okay.
I have no idea if anyone's ever seen it because it was on like Bounce. But I used that money to buy my first camera. Yeah. And this was in 2014.
Okay.
The summer of 2014. Yeah.
Would you happen to have any photos from that time in the Black Room?
No, because this was the digital camera. This was my first digital camera. Yes.
Okay. So do you have any of the film photography on you?
Yes, I do.
All right, cool. Pull that thing out. Let me see what you got. I know you got some killer photos.
All right, So this is the camera I used during the darkroom phases.
Yeah, this one right here. You can just put it right in there.
This
just
is
extend it with it.
Canon T70.
Okay.
It's like a very basic, first using film kind of camera.
Do you remember what year it came out?
Like the 70s or 80s.
Oh, word? Oh,
yeah.
So that's an ancient piece of equipment right there.
Yeah,
Okay,
I got that from a friend that did photography too. That didn't need it anymore because he was getting a new one.
Yeah.
Let's see. So this is something I took during that time.
If you put it in there, it'll show you what it focuses on.
Okay. Is it focused? I think so. Yeah, so I really like this one. This was like just a tree. But I thought it looked really cool, and it kind of looks like lightning almost. And yeah, I just thought it was dope. I thought the way it just looked kind of mysterious, like a little spooky. So yeah, that's one. These are just like this is just a contact sheet. If nobody's ever seen this before, it's like when you take all the pictures, when you develop all the pictures, or before you develop all the pictures, excuse me, we take the film out and do all the chemicals and stuff like that. You use this to look through your pictures and figure out how much light you want exposed to these. So on the back it says these were shot at, well, I think I'm trying to remember all of it, but it says f11 at 10 seconds. So I think I held the light on it for 10 seconds. Okay. And that's why it's like this. I'm trying to remember. This was a minute. This was a minute ago. Let's see. These are some boots. This is my friend Bruce, who is a really dope graphic designer. He is going to be at my wedding next year as one of the best men. But yeah,
we get to see his 10 toes down.
He did these. He did these boots himself. So I felt like I had to capture that. Yeah, it's a little messy, but this was once again like 7 years ago.
I'm surprised you still have them in such great condition.
They've been in the cut. They're in a box called China at College.
Okay. So you organize.
No. They were just in a box. I just knew they were in there because I was like, I remember I had some. I think this is a self-portrait of me. This is me.
So this was on a timer also?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think I have no idea where I was, but I was standing somewhere. And I think I just, looking cool and carefree.
It's a great backdrop.
Before I was an adult.
Yeah, that's a great backdrop.
Oh, yes, the trees.
Yeah.
Yes, this is what Bowie is surrounded by, honestly.
That would be easily an easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl.
Right. I just need to be spinning around.
Yeah, either that or it's Maybelline. That's what it's giving.
Yes,
yeah.
I feel that. And then, this is just like taking pictures of some of my friends in the caf.
Okay, anyone significant in these photos?
The guy there drinking something out of his cup is who I'm going to marry.
Let's get a close-up.
Let's
get a close-up of my guy. Here we go. He in there. Look at the straw. Yes. What up, Reg?
Look at this straw. Yes, so, we have proof that I knew this man for a while now. But yeah. And then this last one, I honestly cannot remember when I took this.
Okay,
I think it was either high school or college.
Who's in this photo that we're looking at right here?
This is me sitting on a plane with my beloved grandmother.
Okay.
Okay, I kind of remember this now. It's called a photogram. So like you're supposed to take a photo and then put something over top of the photo while you're developing it, so that the shadow or the figure of whatever you did put on top is captured in the picture.
Yeah.
So like I put a heart there. I don't even know how I made that heart. It's probably like out of some I don't know, some wire or something. And then, yeah, these are like just small negatives of me as a small child.
Yeah.
But, you know, very reminiscent. I miss this lady, so I love this picture. Yeah. And those are just some photos from the dark room.
That's a hell of a throwback.
Yes,
That's a hell of a throwback. Yeah. So, from the dark room to the stage, tell me about that experience.
From the dark room to the stage. Mm-hmm. All right. That's a somewhat long experience. Well, not that long, but, okay. So, like I said, Brandon sold me my first camera in 2014 during the summer. Was the day before I moved to Philly to be an intern at a consulting firm. Very random. Okay. But I took that time when I was there. I was like, oh, I have a camera now. Let me go explore the city. So I was exploring the city. There was like what is that called? A graffiti. It was like Graffiti Island, or it's something. I can't remember. I'll say it later. But like, I like took that time to explore there. I like climbed my first tree. I was just doing whatever because I was there, and I was like, let me just take some pictures and capture a new city that I'm in. So took some pictures there, enjoyed it. And then like when school started, that was my senior year, so I kind of put the camera away a little bit. People would encourage me to like bring it out, but I was like, I need to graduate. So I still had it, of course, but during this time also, and during all of college, I was always at concerts. Always at concerts. This was when, I think 2011, in that fall semester, was like the first time the Fillmore opened, or the first time the Fillmore started having like a lot of shows, the Fillmore in Silver Spring. Bowie's not that far from Silver Spring compared to Fort Washington. So I used to have a bunch of friends that also like music, so we always used to go to different shows. This is also, I think, when the Howard Theater started opening up more too. So I was always at shows. I was always in the front. Because I'm an avid music lover. I know all the words to all the songs. I'm gonna rap it in your face to the point where I have been called on stage by some rappers before to rap, but whatever. But like I'm always, I love music. I'm always in the front. So during those times, I would be in the front, and I would be like seeing people that are photographers in the pit, and I'd be like, I can do that. I'm looking at them. I can take their pictures. So like sometimes I would like I can't remember their names, but there's two people that used to work for WPGC, and they used to take pictures, and I was like, how did you get to where you are? What are you doing? How did you do this? And I think we like exchanged Instagrams and stuff. So like I just kind of was able to like follow their work and see what they're doing, and I was like, I aspire to be like that. So this is now, I've been going to concerts all those 4 years. We're in 2015. During all the time I've been going to concerts, I was able to, interact with other people that have been going to concerts. So I had a friend, Toronto. He had a blog called How Was the Concert? And he used to just go to concerts and review it. He had applied to cover Broccoli City 2015, and he already knew me. He knew I had just bought a camera a couple months before, and he was like, do you want to shoot it? I was like, yeah, sure. I was gonna go anyways, whatever. But I didn't know what I was doing. So this is like the first time I had picked up a camera in a couple months. I had my kit lens. I was just like, let's do it, let's shoot it. So
do you remember the millimeter of the kit lens you had?
It was 18 to 55.
Oh, that's a nice lens.
18 to 55, 3.5 to 5.6, I believe.
Okay, that's a nice wide lens. I see. Yeah. All right.
But like at that time, I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't understand. I was just like, I know I have a camera and a lens, and I like taking pictures, and Erykah Badu and Joey Badass are gonna be there, so yeah, let's do it.
Passion was on your side.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like I had been to the other Broccoli cities the years before, started in like 2013, so I was already like kind of aware of how that type of concert would be. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I went with my friends, took some pictures. Now looking back at them, they were trash. Really not cute. I didn't know what I was doing. They weren't in focus. There was a couple that I liked. But at that time, I thought they were great. I was really excited, happy for myself. I actually took a picture of Kali Uchis that is really bad, but it's kind of crazy just to see like where she is now and where she was then, because I think she had performed at like 1:00 and there was like nobody in the crowd. And you know, just seeing how big she is now, it's crazy. All that to say, a year later, I noticed that Broccoli City had showed their lineup. They had said who was going to be at Broccoli City 2016. I had posted a throwback of all the 10 pictures that I liked from 2015. Yes, the good ones. And I was like, oh, Broccoli City just announced their 2016 lineup. Who are you excited to see? But this was really just because I wanted to. Like, I was just like, whatever. I was not doing this for any. I didn't even expect. Not at all. I just was like, who you're excited to see? Because I'm excited to see these people. Then the media coordinator for Broccoli City hit me up under that comment, or under that post with a comment like, hey, can we use these for promo? I'm like, yeah, please. But then I had talked to my friends and I was like, I got to figure out a way to make this an opportunity. So they were like, okay, you could send them to this email or whatever. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna send it to there. And then I put in the email like, if you guys ever need somebody to cover this year's festival, I'm available. And she was like, oh yeah, I'll get you a press pass. Would you just be able to cover some of the other events that we have leading up to the fest? I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Let's do it. So I shot like, I think they had like a movie screening. They had like the 5K and different things like that. So I shot that before that festival happened.
Were you going back and forth between Philly and DC at this time?
Oh no, okay. Sorry. So I was here. I was only in Philly for that summer.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I just thought about it. I was like,
I wasn't doing all that. That would have been too much. But yeah, so that was the year that, like, I wish I could remember everyone that was there, but I know Solange was one of the headliners.
You have that photo.
I do have a photo of Solange.
Delicious photo.
I feel like she looks very ethereal here. She just kind of this is like how her performance felt to me, very like present, like I'm here, look at me. And it was so red, which honestly I hate the way red photographs on social media, because there's something about it that just looks really pixelated, but like I feel like on camera it looks really nice, and I just liked her face here. But yeah, after I took this is one of the pictures that she shared, and this is so funny.
So Solange shared your work.
Yes, on her story. I remember that.
Receipts.
But I had I posted it, and I remember the media coordinator being excited because she was like, "This is so funny." She was like, "You got our first 1,000 liked photo ever. Good job." And I was like, "Oh, awesome. Like, that's dope. I'm excited. That was really cool." Oh wait, I skipped a year. Oh, did I skip a year? Shoot. Now I feel like I gotta do some research.
I mean, if you did.
No, because there's...
come back to it.
Solange might have been 2017. And Future and Janae Aiko might have been 2016.
Do you remember what that 2016 year was like?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
I messed it up.
You don't gotta apologize.
I messed it up.
You don't gotta tell your story in order. We just chatted.
I just remembered. Okay. So.
Do you remember that summer?
I remember that one because I was scared.
Why are you scared?
Yes, because I didn't know what I was doing. And this was like, I was scared to go up to people and ask them like, hey, you look cute, can I take your picture? Like lifestyle type pictures. I was so afraid. So like I remember I was I got a press pass. I was with a couple of people that I met on I think the day before when we all had to meet up. I can't believe I forgot about this. And I met this guy, Ben Esikoff. He's actually from Boston, but I think they hired him to shoot that festival too. He's so dope. He reminds me of like a white version of Sean, because a white version of Sean Cooper, because they were so young. He was like 17, 18 doing this, and I just couldn't believe it. And I think that's also where I met Sean for the first time. Yeah, kind of crazy. But
so
yeah.
You guys didn't have names back then. You were just like here to do work when it came to photography.
Yeah, I don't think I knew Sean. I just saw him interacting with the owner or the CEO and co-founders of Broccoli City, and I was like, Sean's dope. But I hadn't talked to him at that time. I was just like, Sean's really dope, because I had seen his pictures before.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, during that time, who was on that list? That was like Anderson .Paak. I think Gold Link was there. Yes, Anderson .Paak was there. Gold Link was there. Janae Aiko, Future, a couple more people. Can't remember everyone, but yes. So I kind of couldn't believe where I was then. I was getting more experience with different lenses and working a whole day of a festival. I wasn't used to that, but
what were you doing to become more experienced with lenses?
I think I just had to rent them and try them out.
Yeah. Was that a trying process?
It was a process I had to grow accustomed to. I wouldn't say it was that trying. I just had to really understand what I was doing.
For example, why was that a growing process? Like, tell me about the growing pains.
Well, like, okay, if you want me to get technical, I guess. Okay, so like, I was shooting with a kit lens, 18 to 55, 3.5 to 5.6. A lot of the concert lenses have wider apertures, so usually like they start at 2.8. With the kit lens, you only can shoot at 3.5 to 5.6. So you have to manipulate other things in order to make your photos look the way you want them to. So, you know, you might have to up your ISO, or you might have to change your shutter speed and things like that. However, when you do those type of things, especially like upping your ISO, your photo can become more grainy.
Yeah.
But you, with a wider aperture, you let more light in, so you have the opportunity to not have to up your ISO that high. So like understanding all of that was totally new to me. I didn't know what I was talking about. I just had to like do some research, like YouTube, figure it out, look it up, and then, you know, see exactly what I wanted when it came to a photo. So yeah, that time was pretty fun. I remember that. But I remember saying I was scared because I didn't take pictures of people until like 9 o'clock at night when I couldn't even see anyone. But I was like, hey, can I take a picture? And they would be like, yeah, sure. And you know, they had on a dope fit. They came to
be photographed.
Exactly. Yeah. But for me, I was scared. But I remember, so fast forward another year to the 2017 Solange photos. I had begun to develop a relationship with the media coordinator, with some of the co-founders, Brandon, Daryl, and, you know, just beginning to talk with these people on more of a personal level to help them understand kind of what I wanted in terms of like how to help them grow. So, you know, always wanting to put on for a Black-owned music festival, because you don't really hear of many of those, as well as
successful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, promoting sustainability, the environment, all those type of things, while also just putting on a dope concert. It was really just dope to me, and I think that they appreciated my work. So I just was able to continue to work with them throughout the years. So 2017, I think that was this year with Solange. Took those pictures, had a great time again. And I feel like 2017 into 2018 is when I was like, okay, I could shoot more than just Broccoli City. Like, I've built up enough of a portfolio where I can start emailing different people saying, you know, hi, my name is China, I'm a DMV photographer. Excuse me. I'm interested in shooting this person at this place. And that's when I started like building up more of like a concert, like just going to different shows in the area. I didn't know what I was doing then. I figured it out though, because, you know, that was me branching out. I didn't have a connect. I just had my work. So like I was kind of just doing it by myself. I wasn't working for like a media outlet or anything. I was just like, hey, I'm a photographer. I like taking pictures. Can I shoot this? Yeah. That's me. But thankfully, a lot of people started to be able to let me shoot different shows. I did end up working for a couple of outlets. The Hotbox TV, they were a local outlet.
Shout out to Brian.
Yes, shout out to Brian. He's in Philly now. But always shout out to him. He's definitely one of the people that started like putting me on early and allowing me to work with him and work for his outlet. That was really cool. Also started shooting for DJ Booth. And that was kind of on a whim. I just like emailed the owner and I was just like, hey, I read an article that you said you would love to be working with more women creators. Well, I'm one of them. And I wasn't like just trying to be like, hey, I'm a girl, work with me. But if you say you want to work with women creators, I'm a woman creator. What's up? Yeah. So Brian is dope. Z is dope. He's still really cool now. And I think that also allowed me to just kind of to enhance my work even more, because working with them I was able to get plugged in with Audio Mac because they work together, DJ Booth and Audio Mac. So I shot Rolling Loud 2018.
What was that experience like?
That was crazy because that was the first time I had gone to Miami. I went by myself.
Yeah.
I went by myself. Wow.
Did that not occur to you in the moment?
I think I kind of did I go by myself? Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I went by myself. Wow. Yeah, no, that was dope. That was, I was actually really scared because I got there and they said that they didn't have a pass for me. And I almost cried.
Tell me about that moment. That sounds like a lot of pressure. Tell me about
that. Happens all the time, honestly. Yes, it happens quite often.
So you gotta make sure to save all emails and interactions.
Even an email sometimes doesn't work. There is something to be said about media management and artists during shows, because there are plenty of times where people either say you could shoot a show, then you get there, your name's not on the list. Then you try to contact the person that said you could shoot the show. They can't be found because they're busy trying to get the artist ready. So now you're standing outside of the film or just waiting. I can speak from experience.
Very specific.
It's happened a couple times.
Specific, yeah.
You know, just end up going to that chicken place next door, just sitting in there waiting. But you know, that did happen when I shot Gold Link. It was the Gold Link show, and he had an encore show right after. So I don't remember how I got in touch with anyone.
Was this? Was this at 9:30?
No, this was at Fillmore.
Fillmore?
This was 2018. I think.
I mean, Marvel?
I
was going to say Marvel would know, but he's focused.
Yes. But I do remember that because I met Kaz and Zeppelin. I talked to them, or I emailed somebody. Yeah. But they said I could shoot the show. I got there and it was like, oh, we gave out all the passes for this show, but if you wait and come back to the next show, we can get you in there. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll go to Forever 21 across the street. But I remember Zeppelin being like, yo, it was really dope of you to just like, you know, chill out and be patient for a second. I really appreciated that. So, I mean, it helped. I mean, you know, because there are some people that just be like, man, forget this, I'm leaving. But I was like, nah, I want to capture this, so I'm going to stay.
So it's very important to have patience.
Yes.
And bide your time for the opportunities.
Yes. So, going back to Miami, I got to the will call. They were like, yeah, we don't have your name here. My name was actually on another list, but like I had to find the person that, like, my contact person. And, you know, I was like, I know I didn't go all the way to Miami for nothing. So I rented all this camera, I rented these lenses, all that type of stuff, and I was like, I need to fix this because I have to shoot this. I'm here to shoot this show. Let's do it. So thankfully I was able to get in contact, and I got a ride on a golf cart. I remember that because that was the first time I rode on a golf cart at a festival. Great, really great when you get the chance to do that. Yeah. But no, Rolling Loud is crazy. It's a lot. It's hot. It's a lot of people. Sometimes it's raining because you're in Florida.
But they say it always rains. Every Rolling Loud,
yes,
it rains.
Yes. Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. So, it's raining and I have thousands of dollars of equipment in my hands. I remember I had like a raincoat for my camera. And I used that.
One of those like real convenient, I could just like unwrap this raincoat and then tuck it back in so it doesn't take space.
It covered, you could cover the camera, and then they had holes where you could put your hand in. So then it had like a little clear screen on the back, but it still was not that convenient. It's you're putting a raincoat on the camera. But I do remember getting a cool picture of Lil Yachty of him in the rain. So it kind of worked out.
Okay, so there were benefits.
There were benefits from there. Yes, I do remember that. That was fun. But yeah, it was a cool experience just being able to like do that by myself and using the connections that I made to try and continue to pave a way for myself. So I thought that was always fun.
All right, so let's touch on Dreamville. You out here, you got the photos up, you got the sign with the name. What's going on? Tell me how this came about. Tell me about it. What's up?
That was crazy.
How come you weren't in the documentary? I was on YouTube.
Right?
Where you at?
I was waiting on my golden ticket.
Yeah. I watch that thing every other weekend, like in my free time when I'm doing workouts.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm gonna let this shit rock because like,
that's dope.
It's inspirational to just sit through it and listen to what's going on.
Absolutely. No, that was really dope. So we were talking about Rolling Loud. It's kind of crazy because once again, this whole like trying to grasp every opportunity I can, being able to shoot for Audio Mac and DJ Booth, I was able to be backstage. Being backstage, you're with all the artists. So, that was the year that a lot of Dreamville artists performed. So I know Jid was up there, I believe Earth Gang, and Cole was one of the headliners.
You have Jid's photo here, right?
I do, somewhere.
You want to pop one of those in the camera so folks can see it?
Don't fall. Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
so they can know who you're talking about. Since we literally got the man Jid in your portfolio. That book is heavy.
It is heavy. That's a bunch of 11 by 14s.
Yeah, it's an amazing book though.
All together.
That man was definitely rocking that mic in that photo. When I was going through the book earlier, I was like, this is crazy. Because, like, your book technically is like what a fairy tale would look like. And people's like, well, I did this and I did this. And I was like, you really did it. And now it's in a big book.
I showed this to a group of, how old were they? I think they were fourth graders. And they were just like, they just couldn't believe I did it. And I thought that was so cool. I was like, yes.
He was definitely, he's in the first half of your book.
So you've seen it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's here. Okay, I must have. There we go.
You're good. Excitement does that.
I'm glad you looked it over.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know where this was. I think this was at Rolling Loud. Where was this? Yeah, this was at Rolling Loud in 2018.
He looks so excited and happy.
Jid is one of my favorite performers to photograph.
He really be a bundle of energy.
He's a bundle of energy. He raps good. And he's just honestly a good person.
Did you know where the name Jid came from?
I don't.
His grandmother used to call him Jid because he was
jittery.
Yeah.
I did know that,
and
yes.
was like his childhood name.
Yes.
And that's the name that just stuck.
Yes, I do remember that. I think I saw an interview about that. That's always dope. I love
So you saw the interview that I saw with
probably
the old boy from Dreamville, the manager of J. Cole.
Eve?
He was talking about that, yeah.
Yes. So we can talk about Eve, I guess.
Oh, okay, hey, what's up?
No, so once again, this is when Dreamville was there. It was actually really crazy. Shooting Cole at Rolling Loud 2018 was one of my first or one of the starts of those full circle moments that mean so much to me because, like I said, I've been an avid music lover. So being able to like be at the front of the stage with Cole in 2011, rapping, Back to the Topic and Nobody's Perfect, to shooting him for a festival was just like, what's going on? I can't even believe this happened. But like I said, I was backstage. I knew who Eve was because I've been a big Dreamville fan for a long time. So I went up to him and I was like, hi, I'm China. I'm a photographer. This is when I think they had announced Dreamville Fest. Oh, this is before Dreamville Fest got canceled because of the hurricane in 2018. So it was May of 2018, and I think Dreamville Fest was supposed to be in like October or something like that. So
is this the year that all those festivals happened at one time, like Virginia Beach, Dreamville Fest, and like everything else?
That was 2019. Yes,
and everything just layered
everything
over.
was all like this,
including our festival on this side happened too, right?
Yes. It was.
That's crazy.
It was.
that was.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that because that was.
All the festivals did well, right?
Yeah. It was a really great time. That was when I was in like 3 different states during the
Carolina.
And I had gone to California as well.
What were you in Cali for?
Because I'm a nerd.
Okay.
For trivia stuff.
Oh, that's tight. Oh, you really be about that trivia life.
Yes. Honda Campus All-Star Challenge. Bowie State University won 2nd place in 2017. We're fantastic. But yeah, no. No, I always go there to volunteer and help out because those are my dogs and I love trivia. Random fun fact about the nerd China. But so met Ebe, told him like, hey, I'm super interested in shooting Dreamville Fest, blah, 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 blah. Here's my card. He told me who to contact. So I contacted them. And how did this go? I'm trying to remember. Okay. I think I shot a couple of shows of other Dreamville artists. I know that Kaz was opening up for Dom Kennedy. That's why I have that picture of Dom Kennedy in there because I got in contact with someone from Dreamville
you
who
can
was
pass me the portfolio. I'll grab the Dom Kennedy photo for you.
Yeah. I love that picture because it's just so colorful. Even though people don't know who it is, but it's just really colorful. I just like that picture.
It's a very cool silhouette picture of
him. But that's how Dom is, you know.
Yeah.
Cool.
I went through your book one time and I was like, this is it. this is the
Dom
photo.
Kennedy.
Yeah.
Dom Kennedy.
Who's that beside him?
That is Georgia Smith. Yes, this was at Made in America 2019. But yeah, so I got in contact with everyone from Dreamville. Well, not everyone, but I got in contact with some of the people's managers, basically.
Did everyone have different managers at that time?
Yes, everyone still has different managers, I believe. So Boss's manager is another person I ended up getting in contact with. I don't remember how I...
Boss from New York.
Yes, yeah. Boss from Queens, my dog.
Great production, amazing production.
Yes. And I shot him at Afropunk, which I can talk about before this or after this. But that was also another full circle moment because I rapped on stage with him too. But
you rapped on stage with him?
I rapped on stage with J. Cole and Boss.
So that was the stage reference right there.
I rapped on stage with J. Cole and then I rapped on stage with Boss 6 months later.
Okay, look at this. Look at that smile. That boy be rapping.
He does.
You can tell that's a performer.
He does. He is. He's so good. He's so good. He's been so good for so long. Okay, so got in contact with Boss's manager. Figured I'd try that whole opportunity thing again of like, hey, I know Dreamville Fest got canceled, but I would love to shoot it again. He was like, yeah, you can do it. You absolutely can. And I was like, I'm sorry. Okay, because like, I guess I could say this on here. I'm a little, I don't know how I feel saying this. I'm gonna say it, whatever. Okay, so I had just come back from a trip. I had just come back from A3C in Atlanta. I shot that. Came back, and I wanted to shoot Boss's show.
That's another prevalent festival.
Love A3C. It's really dope. It's like old heads be down there too, which is kind of cool. But I went there, I shot that, and I came back home, and I had his manager's contact, and I'll never forget it. He was like, I'm sorry, this is so weird. I never said this before because I never wanted to say it, but I'm gonna say it. He was like, you can shoot any Dreamville show you want, ever. And I was just like, what? I probably still have a screenshot of that text, but like, I think I started crying. Yeah, I was crying because I was like, who am I and what is this world where people I've been listening to for 10 years know who I am and know my work and and know me enough and like it enough that they just say I can shoot anything, that
it's nice to be valued.
Almost makes me sick to even think about, because I really can't believe that happened still. And then I went to a J. Cole show that same night because my friend gave me some free tickets. Yeah. So
you were on an emotional high.
I was crying. I remember that. Oh my gosh. I'm getting emotional. I'll stop now.
Take your time.
No, because it's just really crazy. Like, I'm from Charles County, Bryan's Road. I just like taking pictures. And I just this is 2021. So 10 years ago, I graduated from high school. Like, who would have thought that now I'm getting interviewed for,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, so it's just dope how many full circle moments have happened. So basically, that contact got me being able to shoot Dreamville Fest with some of the most fantastic photographers that I know, including Greg Noir, who is one of the best, if not the best music photographer out here. He's been killing it for years.
Yeah. Super
seasoned, super fantastic. Love Greg. But yeah, no, that was just a really amazing time. And I think that was the year that it was Dreamville Fest was in the beginning of April, and then Broccoli City was the beginning of May, and then the week after I went to Rolling Loud. So it was just one after another. And I was just wow, I was on a run then.
So from the outside looking in, you were on a move.
Yeah.
Period.
Yes.
How were you able to afford these moves?
Because I have a job. I still have a full-time job that I have been at for the last 6 years. I am a consultant, and I work with mortgages and help manage a platform that intakes mortgage data to help prevent redlining.
Okay.
So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Another random.
Yeah, no, that's
whatever.
Amazing. That's amazing as hell. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a cool. It's not the ideal way to go, I guess, if you want to be a full-time creative. But I have a mortgage, and at the moment, I do not want to work super hard to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Because I know with being a full-time freelancer, sometimes you have days or months where you have $10,000, and then sometimes you have zero, and sometimes I can't rely on that at the moment. But yeah, that's how I was able to afford all that. Thankfully, I was able to do a lot of things remote, which is kind of crazy too, but I would do things shoot the festival on Saturday and Sunday, and then stay an extra day, work throughout the day, and then go home. I actually did that with Afropunk this year. That's exactly what I did.
Really? Tell me more about that.
I came down to Atlanta when I won the Black Women Photographers Organization, which is an amazing organization. Shout out to Polly. It was created last year just to kind of put Black women photographers on the forefront and allow them the opportunities and afford them the opportunities that they should have, because there's some fantastic Black women photographers out here.
Yeah.
So they partnered with Afropunk this year, and they asked you to create a video or create a story and explain kind of what you would do when you got there, and why you should win a pass to the festival. So of course, I love Afropunk. I've been going to Afropunk for years, and I thought that was just a really special time. I think the first Afropunk I went to, I was so surprised, because when I would go to other festivals, because once again, music always in the front, so I was always used to that whole rowdiness of everybody screaming, yelling. There's always fights and stuff, but that never happened at Afropunk, and it was I was in a Black utopia. It was weird. But the first time I went was in Brooklyn, and that was really dope. That was when SZA noticed my picture that I took of her from way far back in the crowd, which was really crazy.
Yeah.
But I did love that picture too. But yeah, Afropunk 2020. I flew down on a Friday. I got there, shot the festival on Saturday and Sunday, and then I went to my cousin's house who lives in Fairburn, which is a suburb of Atlanta, and I just worked from from their house until my flight at 7 o'clock at night. So, like, do I get that much sleep? No. Probably should I? Yes. But I have always just been a runner. I do too much.
She's a runner. She's a track star.
Exactly. So, like, that's kind of what a lot of these weekend type festivals consist of is, you know, I pay for it because I have a job. I have the money to be able to, thankfully, be able to, like, rent lenses and take off and buy plane tickets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't really want to have to pay for it anymore. I would like to be paid for it more often now. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah. Those are some things.
Damn. That's a damn good story. But, okay. So, you can shoot any Dreamville concert you want.
Don't say that. Don't tell me.
Does that make it different?
Does it make it different?
Yeah, that sentence makes it heavier.
Yeah, I don't like you saying that. That scares me.
Okay. What's the fear there? Because I mean, you've built this career.
Because it makes me sound like I'm like plugged in.
Well, I mean, you earned it though. That's what it's really about. It's really about what you've earned and just acknowledging that. Because like you worked from when you were a kid, picking up a camera, and then high school. You know, picking up techniques and seeing what you don't have, and also accomplishing amazing things without a physical camera. And then like, hey world, I'm here. I'm glad you guys noticed. I have more amazing things coming. So like, to me, I think it's not only amazing, but it's special because it says who you are and who you've allowed yourself to be, which is cool. And you earned it. You earned that opportunity because you literally have a whole 9 to 5 in between it. You didn't just like show up and I've arrived. It's like I'm gonna pay this bill, I'm gonna do this extra day, I'm gonna get on this flight. You know, it's me.
That's it. Yeah. No, I think it actually. I will say like it was really cool. Afropunk 2021. I said 2020. I meant 2021. I don't know what year it is. Afropunk 2021 being like the first thing I shot after the pandemic, music related. Like, I went there and a lot of people knew me, and I wasn't expecting that. Like, I'm like talking like this because I feel like I'm not trying to be haughty or gloat or anything. I'm just really like like I've been able to like form connections with different people, whether it be off social media or like I know DJ Oso, she's a Atlanta DJ, but like she came up here to she had a party and I shot that. So like just being able to connect with people and see people that like, oh, I know this person, that actually helped me be able to shoot for longer sets because I knew someone's manager and the manager was able to give me a different pass.
Yeah, but you also value the relationships.
Yes, absolutely. That's really the most important thing. Like, yeah, we're here to create dope stuff. We're here to make money, but like the relationship is really what matter. Because without the relationships, it's like more surface. And I'm not here for surface stuff, you know? Like, Jid recognized me when he was backstage. You remember my name, which is a little surprising, even though, like, I met him, like, 4 or 5 times. But it was still surprising because you're famous. Whatever. But, like, the fact that he remembered me. The last time I shot him, I told him he's one of my favorite people to shoot. He told me I was his favorite photographer, but like I don't even know if he was just saying that because he said that. But like you don't have to say that to say that. I'm talking too much. I'm sorry. I'm going like on a tangent, but like you know.
I think that's a good thing though, because tangent shows where your emotion is.
You're right. You're right. Nah, that was really dope to me. I would never expect anyone to say that to me.
Yeah. And it seems that right now, at this point in your life, you're able to still value the moments themselves and not the why isn't a certain thing happening for me.
Yeah, I think I don't ever want to dwell on that part, because I've always looked back on everything that I've done so far, and it's kind of like, one, I'm not here to, well, one, I do a lot of comparing, but that's not the best way to carry on with things. But while I compare, I also like truly value and appreciate so many creatives. So like saying, why isn't this happening to me? That's a moot point, because it's really like, this should be happening to them. Like I'm so excited that it's happening to them. So it's wonderful. I'm glad. But yeah, I think, this is, I'm on a journey. Like, it's not, I'm just going with the flow. I'm just seeing where things take me. And, excuse me, if it takes me to, it's what's for me is really going to be for me.
Yeah.
And like, I know that sounds kind of cliche, but it's for real, because once again, 10 years ago, I was in high school just liking a camera and taking pictures on my phone. So like, I wouldn't have worked this hard and gone this far for nothing. And that's why like keep going is like super, super important to me, because you just got to keep going on the path that you're on, because you never know where it's going to take you.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about this guy right here. I'm just going to slide him in there.
Okay.
All right, tell me about Cole.
There's so many pictures of J. Cole. There's so many pictures of J. Cole.
Tell me about Cole. Cole. Jermaine,
yes.
Run away now, bruh.
Oh my gosh.
They are so hilarious.
They're hilarious. And I'm
never
so,
get over their skits.
I love that they're getting put on how they are. Like, because, my fiance is a big fan of Mark and all of them. So, like, he always sends me, like, their videos. But, yes, like, I'm super glad that they're getting put on. Yeah. That was so dope.
Their pop-ups are amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was so dope that they got to like work with him for this latest thing. But yeah, Cole is dope. You know, I was a fan. I've been a fan of Cole since 2010, maybe. Since like the warm up. So that's a long time ago. Yeah, so you know, like just going from
Simba raps.
Exactly. Yeah. Young Simba, grown Simba, all that. So going from being a fan, listening to, I remember I always used to listen to You Got It, which is off of Friday Night Lights with him and Wale, who is also another amazing human being. You gonna pull up?
I got you. I got the book on me. Don't worry, you take your time. Keep talking.
But yeah, so Wale is also dope. But yes, J. Cole. Okay. Let me hold it like
a little Wale photo, you know, you guys got Wale out here, you know. Hey, she took it. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, big time. You know, we got you.
Yes. Big bro. But yeah, so, you know, listening to him, going to his concerts, rapping on stage with him, going to different shows and always seeing him, and then just being able to, I think when I shot him at Rolling Loud the first time, it was in the crowd. It was in the crowd, I remember this now. I had to push through hundreds, thousands of Lil Uzi fans in 2018 while protecting my camera. I had to hold it up like a bottle girl, but it was like a camera. I had to walk through and just be like, excuse me.
Cuff strength.
You know, probably. Yeah, that probably is strong. Because I do that all the time. But yeah, I think like my years of going to festivals as just an attendee allowed me to be able to maneuver easier. There's a trick. You always gotta watch if anybody's getting in a fight. They're all gonna rush towards the fight. So then that's when you go like this. But that's, so like I got to the front of, or closer to the front of the his performance there, and I shot him there. And then after all the conversations with the different Dreamville people, I was able to shoot him during Dreamville Fest 2019 in North Carolina. And if you follow me on Twitter, you will see that that entire thread is me wanting and talking about how much I wanted to shoot this festival like a year before it even happened, year and a half before it even happened. Just because I wanted that. I feel like that was one of like those big full circle moments again. Like, I used to be rapping this man's lyrics to everybody. I used to put people on to J. Cole. So like, you know, being able to photograph him and it being pictures that I loved was like so cool to me. And yeah, I think this is honestly like one of my favorite pictures, just because like I feel like it shows it's like a juxtaposition of like different emotions, because he looks more softer here, but then here he's like looks like ferocious and angry, like he's determined to get this rap off. So it's something about the way that these two people, like, they're the same person, same time, two different personalities all in one photo.
Yeah.
But it was always just really special to me. I thought it was so dope. But yeah, like that was a really special time for me, just because I felt like I was working to get that. Like, I was working hard, building connections. I went from Miami to talk to this person, to talk to this person, started emailing these people, figured I'd just text this person, you know, like just doing all that to be able to get to this end goal, and it worked. That was crazy. And I was gonna go to Dreamville Fest anyways. I had already bought a ticket because I was gonna go as a fan regardless. So.
And that all led up to the opportunity of you can shoot any Dreamville Fest you want.
There you go.
So that's the yellow brick road.
You know?
Yeah, you were consistent.
Keep going. Literally, you just have to keep going. Like, just don't stop. Don't give up.
And also pick up skills on the way there.
Yes. It's not gonna be given to you. Nothing is handed to you. As much as the word manifest is used nowadays, like, you can say you want to do something, but like you need to do the actions too, you know. Like, faith without works is dead. So like,
wait, could you repeat that one more time, what you said?
Faith without works is dead.
Okay, cool.
So
first time hearing that, I was like, that's fascinating.
Yes. I believe that's a Bible verse. But yes, that is, you know, you have to do the actions. You can't just say it. You have to do it.
Yeah.
So I've been big on doing it throughout I'd say like before 2020 happened. I'm still big on doing it, but you know, 2019 was definitely a lot of shows. 2018, a lot of shows.
So what relationships would you say have taken you this far privately in the work that you've done?
I think being able to build relationships with my peers that are photographers has taken me the furthest. Because not only like do they inspire me, but also like they support. And we all kind of support each other. I feel like there's a narrative that goes around in the DMV about like, oh, nobody supports each other, blah, 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 blah. But like, I've never felt that. Ever. Honestly. So I think that's always been really special, because it's not just like, you know, we look at each other's work. We look at each other's work and can critique it. It's like, oh, do you like this? Oh, what can I do differently? Can you look at my website? Can you look through my portfolio and tell me what I should add?
So
like,
you look through each other's work with the goal of improving.
We're all here to build each other up. 100%. 100%. So like, I think that while, you know, relationships with managers and relationships with artists are like super special, like, if you don't have the work to show for that, it's nothing. And without the people you have around you, you know?
So let's talk about the relationship with Big Bro.
Oh, hey friend.
Yeah, just bring it back. You know, we did it twice.
Hey friend.
Two times is the charm.
That's a crazy story too. I don't understand how these things be happening to me, Juice.
I mean, we're here to talk it out. We're here to talk it out.
Alright, so Wale. That's my name, don't forget it. Yeah, that song, I've been listening to Wale since like 7th grade. When I would record his songs on my MP3 player and listen to them on the bus off the radio. Because I don't think they had LimeWire at that time, or I wasn't using it. All that to say, big fan, been a fan for a long time. So what year was this? This is 20. Okay, let me think. Okay, I think it's 2017. I shot. No, it's 2018. I can't remember. It's one of them. It's either 2017 or 2018. Yeah. But I shot. What did I shoot? I shot an pizza party. And
what kind of camera were you using?
I was using the Nikon D50-100 at the time, I believe, which is the camera I was using before the camera I have now, which is the Nikon D750. So I think they had hired me to shoot a party, and he was there. I think that was gonna be my first time ever like being around him and interacting with him. But I got there, I was a little nervous because I was like, sometimes when I'm shooting stuff, you know how like Beyonce has like Sasha Fierce and like she has to put on the alter ego. Sometimes I feel like that when I have to like build up the confidence to go do something. So like I was shooting all the people, but I was like, I think Wale's upstairs. I'm gonna go walk up these stairs and see if I can take a picture of him. So I took a picture of him, and you know, whatever. It was whatever. I don't even think I introduced myself at that time. I think I just took the picture because I was a little nervous. But he has his annual Wale and Friends show every year. So I shot the one in 2018 with help of my guy Yanni, who is dope. Shout out to all the Washington Slizzards. They're all cool. But yeah, so I shot that, got some great pictures. That's where that picture was from. That was 2018. Yes. So that's where that picture was from.
So that picture is shot throwback.
Yes, it is. It is. I remember it now because I signed it with 2018. Yes. So that is when I had shot that, and it was cool. It's like whatever, blah blah blah. So, oh wait, okay, I told that wrong. The pizza party was after Wale and Friends, so it was December of 2018 is when I had shot the pizza party, and January of 2018 when I shot Wale and Friends. Got that picture, love that picture. Got some dope pictures of Rico. I remember those, and it's a really cool picture of Rick Ross too that I liked.
Is that the same one that's in there?
No, that's from Trill Girl Fest.
Okay, which that picture you got a Rick inside that folder is tight.
You know, after I took that picture, he said, "I just put you on." I'll never forget that. I was like, "What?" I'll never forget that.
That man is showing himself.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so party pizza. Then I wanted to shoot the 2019 Wale and Friends. So I once again hit up Yanni. He's always dope and he was able to connect me and give me a pass. I shot it. We shot the first 3 songs. I remember it was me, Abby, Sean, and a couple more photographers there, but I do remember Abby and Sean. Shout out to Abby the homie and Sean Cooper, of course. So we were taking the pictures, and then when you shoot concerts, you can only shoot the first 3 songs. So Wale was there.
Is that an establishment rule? Yeah.
It's pretty much always like that. You can only shoot the first 3 songs because then they'll let like the person that is the the artist photographer shoot the rest of the show, and I guess it's to like clear out the pit, but 3 songs anyways. So we shot the 3 songs, we got out the pit, we was just standing on the side. I think Abby and Sean had left after the 3 songs, and I was like, my friend Crystal was in the audience, so I was like, I'm about to just go stand with Crystal. So I was just standing there, I had my camera, and I was like trying to like stand up really tall and take pictures because I'm short, but I was like in the middle of the audience, and I'm just taking pictures, and then after a while I was like, I'm tired of putting my arms up, it's too much, I'm just gonna enjoy the show. Then out of nowhere, this man goes, "Where's China at?" He's like, "Where's the photographers?" Like, I guess because he realized wasn't nobody in the pit, and he was like, "Where's everybody? Where the photographers?" I remember he said, "Where's Sean at? Where's China at?" I'm like, "Did you say my name? Is he talking about me? How does this man know who I am? I have no idea how he knows who I am." Totally confused. I can remember exactly where I was at that moment because I was like, "What? What are you talking about? What?" So I'm like, I'm right here, and there was another girl named China, and she was like, "It's me." I'm like, "No, he's not talking about you. He's talking about me."
me, sis. You talking about me.
That was wild. But yeah, so then I was like, yeah, that's me. And I like walked through other people and got to the front of the stage and just started taking pictures. And then after that, like, we chatted it up for like a long time at the end of the show. And I just still, once again, very much in awe. Like, I don't even know what's happening right now.
So Wale was aware of his supporters in terms of people who helped his image and folks that really fucked with him.
Right.
And he knew your names.
Right.
Because you never introduced yourself.
When at the end party? No, I did not. I did not. And
so he made a space for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tight.
So anybody to say, never mind. Y'all know what I'm gonna say. But
like, yo, talk your shit. Talk your shit.
He put on for this city a lot. But yeah, so that was just really a dope time. And you know, after that time, I was able to really like forge a relationship with him. Just as like a person to talk ideas and you know, be able to work with when it comes to like thoughts about media and working with him when it comes to, you know, helping to promote good music, because he's a great artist. So yeah, that's from 2019 to now. That's big bro. He's really awesome. He's definitely vouched for me in a lot of areas. I think I shot an Audio Mac, had a Hometown Heroes segment. Joe Vango, who is an amazing marketing manager at Audio Mac, he had the idea, and he like worked with people to just kind of bring people to each city, like artists from each city, bring them there. So Wale was one of the openers for that, and I remember I had taken pictures for Audio Mac, but I don't think I told Wale I was there. But I was just taking the pictures in the pit. He saw me. It's a video that is funny, but it's a video of me like just taking pictures. And he's like, "Oh, that's China. Come on the stage." Okay, I will. Yeah. So this is time number 2. This man's done called me out of nowhere, and I wasn't expecting anything to happen. But like, I think that's also like when you realize that these are artists, but these are people, you know. So you develop a relationship with these people, and it's not like, oh, you're so famous, like you're a person. You're a person too. Everybody's a person too. So like, it's just cool. To the person that you're cool with is just also famous. That's really how you've got to talk about it. And then he did it again at Afropunk this year, because they were tripping about the access, like they do when the headliner comes out. It's like, oh, nobody can shoot anything, or you can only shoot 2 songs and you can't do anything, blah 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 blah.
How important is it to have the artists advocate for you guys in the work that you're doing?
It's super important, because that was loud. I got
that was not loud. I don't think it was loud enough, honestly. If you want it to be loud, this is the space to be loud and honest. Like, don't diminish yourself for this.
I mean, it's super important because, once again, I say this a lot on social media. What is somebody without media? Let's talk about it. What is a flyer without a picture? Let's talk about it. What is a music video? It's nothing. What is a picture? It's nothing. Like, if it's not for a photographer or a videographer or a creative director or a stylist or any of these people that help in the industry, the music industry, that's kind of what it's about.
You guys help create imagination.
The music industry is about marketing. How do you market without media? You don't. So, I mean, unless you're just talking word of mouth and listening to music. But that's not realistic anymore. I don't think people just say word of mouth and listen to music. You want to know who these people are. You want to know what the music video they have, what they look like, all that type of stuff. How they perform. How do you know how they perform? You watch a video. I can go on a whole tangent about like marketing, media, and why photographers and videographers need to be respected, and it's super important.
2 hours on my SD card if you want to go on a tangent.
I mean, it's just I feel like we're not as respected as we should be. There have been often times where I have not been credited for my work. Why are you posting the work? If you like the work, you should credit the person that took the picture. people act like that's not normal. But I think that's weird. Especially when you can tag Gucci. Why are you tagging Gucci but not the person that took the picture of you with the Gucci sunglasses on? Let's talk about it. So yeah, I think that photographers and videographers need a lot of credit for being the and you know, it's not just the photographer, it's a whole team of people. But like, don't forget about that.
Yeah.
That's an important an extremely important piece to it.
It's absolutely necessary.
Absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
So yeah, just, you know, the fact that he was able to, you know, I'm taking pictures in the pit again, they're about to kick everybody out, and he's like, where's China? Crazy still. But like, then it was
wait, finish up the Afro punk though. In terms of, they were trying to limit you guys to only
the security on day 1 versus day 2 totally changed. Day 1 we could do whatever we wanted, take pictures, whatever. Day 2 it was like, no, nobody can go anywhere. You can only shoot this many songs. You have to leave after that. I'm like, bro, I was backstage with every rapper that was just on stage and all the bands yesterday. They were like, it doesn't matter. So then I will say that this helped. This is where that whole like building relationships comes from. Serpent with Feet's manager is Kaz, who also worked with Gold Link, and I saw him all day the day before, and I was like, hey, can you give me another pass, because they're tripping.
Yeah.
He got it for me. That allowed me to do whatever I wanted. Not whatever I wanted, but it allowed me the same access that I did on day 1 that I could do on day 2. And I was here to work.
You're not just enjoying the concert, you're literally working.
Exactly.
So why are they getting in the way of your job?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Like that is a big thing that I'm saying. Like I'm not here for it's not all fun and games right now. Like I'm here to create content and get content so that I can do my job. I'm here for a job. It's not just
a job you take very seriously.
Yes. If I wanted to just be lollygagging around meeting all the famous people, I would, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to take their picture. I'm here to capture them. I'm here to provide that to the in this case, the Black Women Photographers Organization, so that they can post it, so they can promote their stuff. And they did this with a sponsorship with Afropunk, so also to like help build Afropunk's brand as well.
You know, thanks for bringing back that you had a whole big organization behind why you were there. And they're also getting in the way of that too, and how important that is.
You know?
Yeah.
All the things. But thankfully it worked out. I was able to take the pictures after the security recognized that, like, okay, like, it's funny because I had one pass and they were like, oh no, that pass doesn't matter anymore. And this was the pass I had gotten earlier that allowed me to go backstage, and they were like, oh no, you can't have that one, you need another one. So like things just switch up really quickly when you're at a festival.
How are you supposed to just find these passes? Like,
a relationship, a connect,
a lot of phone calls, and hopefully someone is available.
No, Kaz called me on my Instagram because he was like, where are you? Let me get you this pass, because I know that he just called you on stage. And I'm like, I'm right here. But then they were like, yeah, she needs another pass. And he walked all the way. Thanks, Kaz. You're so great. He walked all the way, real far away, and got me a pass. And then I was able to do what I needed to do and do what I came to do, which was take pictures.
Yeah, which is the only thing that you want to do.
Yes.
Yeah. So, we've gone from festival to festival to festival. Tell me about the first time you worked the event with your friend when you took the photo of SZA.
Oh, okay. So my friend Nikki at Hey She Draws is like a fantastic artist.
Hey She Draws is her ad name?
Yes, it is. She's been my roll dog since 2011 when we met in at Bowie State and realized we both loved J. Cole. So we went to a concert together and really didn't even know each other. That was really random, but yeah. She had been doing different vendor opportunities at different festivals. So she had worked at Broccoli City, and I think this was the first Afropunk that she was doing. So it was like, you know, she needed help. So it's like, yeah, let's go on a road trip and drive up to Brooklyn, stay in Airbnb, and let's get this done. So she was selling some of her amazing art. She's a painter, she's a drawer, artist, all that. She's just fantastic. But so she was selling her stuff, and during that time I didn't have a press pass. I tried to apply for a press pass in the same way that I was doing it with the concerts in the area of like, hey, my name is China, I'm a photographer, da 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 da. But they were like, no, you can't have one. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll just come and support Nikki. So I went there, but I was like, I'm gonna still bring my camera and I'm gonna bring my lens too. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna do it. So the way it sounds now is kind of funny, but like she had, you know, she had all her art and stuff, and it was in a bin. So we set all her stuff up overnight, and I just left my camera and my lens in there, and we just locked up the space that she was in. And then the next day I just took my camera out, and it was like, I'm just here taking pictures. So I took a lot of pictures of artists, of people that were just walking around. And then towards the end of the night, I was like, I have a 70-200, which is a long lens. And I was like, let me see what I can do from the crowd.
Yeah. You can get some work on those kind of lenses.
Yes.
I got a chance to use that lens at the March on DC in August 2020. And the dude from CSNBC lent me his lens.
Oh.
And it was crazy.
Yeah.
And he had the little stilt for it too.
Yes.
I was like, oh, this is crazy.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So like and then there's like this other like random trick that I learned, but what is it called? I think it's called photo area in your camera. But so I had a crop sensor camera at the time, which crops things in even closer. I think it's like 1.5 times what a full frame camera would do. Yeah. So it crops it in even closer. So I took advantage of that, and I was like, okay, so it's
like in the pores.
Yes. It was like I had a 70-200, but it was really like I'm trying to do math in my head.
With the crop.
Whatever 70 times 1.5 is and 200 times 1.5 is. Yeah. Whatever that is what it really was. So like I think that's like 105 to 300, something like that. All that to say, I'm in the crowd by myself. Is a gazillion people around me. This is when SZA had come out with Control, so everyone loved her. Great album.
Before the Lies, yes. Yes.
I think this was after the Lies. It was in the middle of the Lies. So I've been listening to SZA since high school too, or at least since college, but since her mixtapes. But yes, so I like had to stand on my tippy toes, like raise my arms all the way up, and like flip the viewfinder down because I couldn't look through flip the screen down because I couldn't look through the viewfinder because I had to hold my camera all the way up and have my arm steady and push the button all at the same time because I was trying to get these pictures of SZA. Yeah. And at this time, it's actually kind of cool, but at this time, Nikki had art of SZA that she drew too. So I took the pictures. This was the Saturday. I took the pictures and I was like, I think I got some good stuff in there. Like, I was not close at all, so I don't even know how I did it. But I was like, I think I got some good stuff. So we got back to the Airbnb, started editing pictures. I was like, yeah, I think I got some stuff. So I think the day after I posted it on my Instagram, I was like, SZA, look at this. I shot these when I was like I'm only 5'2.5". I was like, I shot this from the crowd. And she was like, well, you took them like you 5'9". And I couldn't believe she saw it. And I think that was one of the first times that I had an artist like recognize my work. And I think I cried that day too. Very emotional. And that same day, SZA noticed Nikki's booth and her art there. So it was just like a really like, once again, those whole full circle, like, I can't believe this is happening moments. Where it just feels really special. Like you just think about where you came from just listening to these people and just being fans to what you did to produce the art that you did produce the art that you did of them, and then like for them to be able to see it and appreciate it is just like so cool. I think that picture's in there too.
Is it?
Yeah. Let me.
The one time I never touched the portfolio. Actually, it is in there.
Yeah.
I remember we were talking about it earlier, and you were like, yeah, so here's the story. Here's how I got it. That's an amazing photo. Let me get a close-up of this.
So this is in the crowd.
Yeah.
No one, I was nowhere near her at the moment.
How far away would you say you were when you took that photo?
I don't know, yards and stuff, but
if you took a guesstimate,
at least half a football field.
Wow, so you were 50 yards away if you took a guess.
If not more.
Yeah.
Probably more.
Wow.
But yeah, I love this picture. Just because I was working hard to get it and I liked it. And I think that's always like the special times for me.
Yeah.
Is always when I work hard to do something and then it pays off.
Yeah. All right, so what's next? Actually, what's next for your portfolio? That's a better question.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot. I still love shooting concerts. I still want to shoot music. I just saw that Lucky Day is coming 9 days before my wedding next year, and I would like to shoot him because he's really cool.
You've been
and
asking a lot of these questions on Twitter.
Twitter's like,
should I
do this?
I need some answers. Can I get some opinions?
Please give
Actually,
me.
I think it's admirable how much you allow Twitter to have a say in things. Not whether you're gonna listen to it, just like let me give them a chance.
I think that actually comes from my general curiosity about just different things and just hearing different viewpoints. Yeah. And I think it also comes from kind of what I do in my full-time job, because a lot of stuff I do, or some of the stuff I do, has to do with like user research and a lot of like customer facing things. So like I care about what other people think because I have to, and I use what other people say and what other people feel about a certain thing on the platform that I help manage to make it better. So I think that I'm very, I like to ask questions because I want to know what people's thoughts are.
Yeah.
Even if it's not something I agree with, or if it's not something I'm gonna do, I'm always interested. I like doing polls and just asking people questions. That's why I was trying to figure out what time people go to sleep at night, and apparently I am of the minority.
What time do people go to sleep at night?
I said, what time do people over the age of 25 go to sleep during a work week? The options were 11 to 12, 12 to 1:30, 1:30 to 2:30, or 2:30 or later. I had so many quote tweets with people being like, what about 9? What about 10? And I was like,
oh my God.
I didn't know people did that. Honestly, I'm like, I've always been a night owl, but like,
I'm a true night owl.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So like, I go to sleep during a work week at like 2:30, and that's just always been regular. Or like, I guess if I had to wake up like before the pandemic, it would be like 1:30, but it was I never went to sleep on the same day that I woke up. Like
that's real.
It's not like, oh, you get up at 7 and you go to bed at 11 p.m. Like, no, I never did that. And I think I just always been a night owl. But like, yeah, just stuff like that. I just like engaging with other people and understanding what their thoughts are, and just seeing where mine is either intersect or don't. It's just interesting.
Yeah. So your portfolio.
Yes. Where do I see things going next year? Well, the first 4 months, who knows, because I'm going to be planning a wedding. But after that, I probably would like to do more festivals. I didn't really get the chance to indulge as much as I wanted to this year. One, because we're still in the pandemic. I'm still a little, I was always a little weary. Yeah, deep. But I still would like to shoot different shows. I feel like that while I have been able to build my portfolio up, that's still kind of like music is always just like my home girl. Like that's who I always run back to because it's what I enjoy the most. but I would like to get paid for it more. Because I think when you start out doing music, you don't get paid as much. But you also are building a portfolio, and that's kind of the reason why that happens. But now I feel like I've built one, so I'm a bit more reluctant to go out and just shoot. Like, there was a point in time where I was shooting shows like every night after work. Like, I remember, I think I shot like, who was that? It was Kiana Lede, and then it was like a Gold Link show, and then it was somebody else. It was just like back to back to back. Chief Keef, yeah. It was like a whole bunch of people that are totally not related in their music, but it was just like, I would just go after work. Yeah. I would leave DC, and drive up to film.
Your music bag you get though.
Yeah.
Because you take photos of people you're fans of.
Absolutely. Yeah. That is also the thing, which is always fun, and that's another reason why I always enjoy this, is because I'm able to not only shoot famous people or famous artists, but my favorite people. Like, these are the people that have, their music has gotten me through stuff. Like, yeah. And that's special to me. That's really special. But yeah, just being able to be appreciated and compensated properly for some of the things that I do, I think is something I want to do. But I also have a lot of ideas that I have been afraid to execute over the years. For what reason, I don't know. I think I might just be afraid to just do it, because I think I'm afraid of it not turning out how I want it. But if I never start, I'll never know. But I was able to like do one of those earlier this year, which was kind of cool. I want to get a bit more into like editorial work. So I like planned a photo shoot with my sister in the basement of my house, where we just like did like a 60s mod theme, which is something I had always been thinking about. Like, I always liked that era. So like, that was one of the things I was finally able to check off the list of ideas that I've had for years. But I'm also like, I want to, because I'm such a fan of music, and because like I love the DMV, I want to do more work with like DMV artists, like whether it be, I have some ideas for that too, but I just need to reach out to some of the people and do them. Or like, we have been like, it's artists that I've been trying, we had been planning to get together, and then like stuff just happened, or all that stuff. So I want to kind of do more stuff like that. And then I also just like want to continue to build up like community of creatives, and do more community work, because I feel like I've done a lot, and I want to just continue to give back to who helped me. So the community, super important.
So referencing the community, you had something you told me about during our break that you are glad you got a chance to do this year.
Oh yes, Cameras and Combos.
Tell me about that.
Cameras and Combos is an event put on by Community of Creatives, which is a organization that I co-founded with Sean Cooper. And we just kind of bring different photographers in the area together and just have a conversation. So this was the second one that we had, and we were able to have some really dope artists and photographers from this area just kind of speak on their experiences. And we want to make it like a open forum where people can just ask questions, because I feel like this area is budding with artists and budding with creativity. So like, we had, I don't want to forget anyone's name. Let me think. We had Zara from Zara Visual. She's a fantastic Baltimore artist or photographer. She has her own studio. Crazy. She did Ari Lennox. She shot Ari Lennox. She shot Ari Lennox for something, one of her songs or something like that. Oh, here's a picture of Ari Lennox that Juice has handed me. I do love this picture because
it's an amazing photo.
I feel like she was given drama, and that's what I wanted. And I think that's what she she does when she performs. I think that's always a big part of what I like to do, is capture the artist how I feel them. So like when she's singing like Break Me Off and she got her fur and she's doing all like, yes, yeah, do that. Give me drama in the picture. That's what I want.
Yeah.
So yes, that's always dope. But yeah, so we had Zara, we had Maeva, who also shot our engagement pictures. She's also great. We had Mike, Mikael Selassie, who is out in LA killing it right now. He just shot like Moneybag stuff. He did the behind the scenes for the Polka Dot video with J. Cole and Wale. Like, also awesome. We also had like, we split it up in like old school versus new school, because we had some like more seasoned people. So like Tamon and Gary from the Creative Theory Agency. I might have said that wrong, but I don't think I did.
What kind of work do they do?
They're a media agency. So they do a lot. I think Tamon used to be is still a photographer. They're both photographers. But yeah, they have an agency where they just work with different brands to help market and do media and things like that. And they also run the gift shop, which is in Union Market.
I might reach out to them.
Nah, they're really cool. They're really cool.
About letting them know about everything I have planned and say, hey, how can we work together to push this in the necessary direction?
Yeah, that's I love that.
Yeah,
you saw that's where Jada's her book signing was.
That's how I came across them. So when you referenced them, I was actually researching and looking them up. Like, hey, I don't really know these people, but I think I'm interested in reaching out to get to know them. Yeah, no, they're really cool people, down to earth people. We also had oh my gosh, take your time. Vina. Is her name? It has to be Vina. Oh, should I check? Or should I just not? I mean, it's up to you.
Okay,
like, if you want to, because if you care about the name, I think you should check.
I care about the name because
it's all right. They homies. They understand if you might forget it. This has been a long interview. You've had to say a lot of names. It's okay to forget certain people's names. You feel me?
Okay, I was right. I knew it. Okay,
all right. So you was Vina.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, there you go.
Okay, I feel much better. Yes.
It's good. You just had to check to be sure. That's
I have to check. I have to check.
All.
Everybody deserves their credit. Yeah, she is the art
spelled correctly.
Yes.
Like somebody's birth certificate that the hospital messed up.
That's me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like she's like an art director for Makedo, which is now H Street. It's like a food place, and she like does all the direction for all the photography there,
and the vending, and the clothing,
and
the merch, and the apparel.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, and we had Jada, of course, who is another fantastic mammoth.
Yeah,
okay, mammoth.
Not even a question.
Mammoth, like. Jada be doing stuff.
I think she lives on another world. And
she does.
Just comes to visit us, honestly, and that's all.
Totally agree. She's her mind. Like, I know there's a gif of that. Like, you're mine. That's her. Because the way she's always stuck to her style, and I will always appreciate that. Like. Yeah. You know what you're hiring me for? You're hiring me for stuff to look out of this world and crazy in the best way. And it does.
And it tells a story.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah. Like, that's almost like the type of stuff I want to do. Not her style, but the fact that she can sit down, have an idea, plan it out, get the people that she needs for it, get the makeup artist, get the nail people, get the stylist, put it all together to create one cohesive moment. I love that. And I think that's something I want to do more of. I feel like when
more of it, I have a whole big project next year if you want to do more.
Let's work.
Just let me know what's up.
Let's work.
Okay, cool.
After April.
That's real. That's real.
It's December. I'm getting married in 4 months. Forget that. What are we? Okay. Now, this is random, but tomorrow, me and Reggie are going on a date. We have a date day where we're not talking about anything having to do with the wedding, because I realized since we've gotten engaged, we have only like I mean, he's definitely come over to the house. I've come over to his house. We've hung out with friends. But me and him have only hung out 2 times, just us, not in the house, since we got engaged. Because it's always something about the wedding. It's always something with our friends, which we always hang out with our friends. So it's always fun. But I'm like, we need a date day where we just do nothing having to do with anything but spending time with each other.
How important is it to create boundaries when it comes to your work and your spouses?
It's definitely important, but Reggie is like one of my biggest supporters and cheerleaders. So it's like you have to have a balance between that. So like, you know, when it's time to go to sleep and I'm up editing until, you know, 2, 3 in the morning, I feel like that's probably I'm gonna have to prioritize things a little differently when we're living in the same home and he is my husband.
Yeah.
I think that's something that is gonna take time because I am a night owl, and I literally was doing this on the phone with him on Monday. Yeah. I was editing stuff at 2:00 in the morning, but you know, stuff like that. I think definitely takes time, but I think it's super important to, you know, you have a new he's not new, but you have a person that's been in your life for so long, and now you're like planning on building this life with them. And while this life does include all of this, and you love me for that and you support me for that, I also want to do the same in supporting you and being able to give you time and give you attention and all that. You know, like it's really a balance, and we're gonna work on it, but we're gonna do it. So yes,
I'm rooting. I'm here for it. Yes. You know, I thought that was beautiful.
Oh. Thank you. But yes, what was I talking about before I started talking about Reggie?
Oh, no, that was really nice. I forgot what we were talking about, and I'm leading the interview. I was just like, you know, let's talk more about Reggie.
Reggie has been a support for a long time in this photo stuff, because I actually didn't really pick. I think me and him were first talking when I shot the first Broccoli City. And it was like 2 months into our talking stage or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go shoot a festival. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I didn't know what I was doing, and he probably didn't even understand what I was doing either. But like, you know, ever since then, that he's like, he's a good creative director. Like, I've brought him on a couple shoots before. Really? And like, he has the eye.
Tell me more.
Of like,
what does it take for someone to be a good creative director?
I think that so like a photographer can take pictures, but I do not think a photographer is always a creative director. Yeah. Because I think creative direction requires the word direction, you know? Like a photographer can tell you thoughts on how to pose and thoughts on this and stuff like that, but a director has like that in their mind. Like they can see it. Yeah. So like, I mean, you know, I have no idea if he even wants to do that, but I remember earlier this year I had 2 friends one of my friends, he got engaged and he wanted me to shoot his engagement photos, and he had the idea of having things kind of resemble when if Beale Street Could Talk, the movie, like those type of moments. So Reggie came with me, and I showed him like the ideas that they had, and he was able to just kind of be like, oh, maybe you should do this, maybe you should take this picture, maybe, like those type of suggestions are really helpful. And I've brought him on like he's been at like 3 or 4 of like the engagement shoots that I've done, and he's definitely helped out.
So you guys you can trust him with your business.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
He always wants to help point you in the right direction.
100%.
But he gives you space. So everything he says is a suggestion, and it's up to you to like choose. Like, hey, yes. Do I want to apply this?
Yes. Reggie's always awesome, and in that last thing you said, that's how he he understands me as, she gonna do what she wants. Yeah. I give her a suggestion and let her know what I think is best for her, or what might work the best for her. Yeah. But at the end of the day, she's gonna do what she wants. So he's always special like that. But yeah, like so I forgot to speak on this earlier because we were talking music, but when I started taking pictures, I started learning more about how to take pictures with Street Meet DC, which is a community that developed in, I think, 2015 or 2014.
I think they did an amazing campaign when they first came out.
I remember back then being like, oh, I want to go there. This is once again during the time where I didn't know how to talk to people and say like, hey, can I take your picture? But that shooting in Street Meet helped me learn how to do that more, because that's kind of what they were here for. Like, other than shooting, I was able to capture just the area of DC, Maryland, Virginia, all of this area in just its own essence. But then sometimes there would be models there, and being able to go up to them and say like, hey, can I take your picture? Hey, can we like go off to the side and like have our own like mini photo shoot? Like, that type of stuff, it took like confidence and courage to be able to even go up to people and say that. And I think I gained a lot of that from Street Meets. And Reddy used to come with me, and sometimes he would be my model there. So
also, what was really important about Street Meet DC is they had times that they would give you advice on what you would need to apply to your photography before taking you guys into the city.
Yes. That is also very true. Like, Pierre, Sway, Aaron, Chuck, Malcolm, like all of them, like Malcolm's so funny. I don't even know what he's doing anymore. I want to check on him, but he does a lot of video now, I think. But he's one of the people that like hit me up and was like, hey, you should come to Street Meet. He also used to play for New Impressions, which is kind of crazy. But he like asked me if I wanted to come out, and I did. And I think after that, I was able to just like meet so many different photographers in this area. I met Jada from Street Meet. I met Austin at Street Meet, or I might have met him at Bowie. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, that was
when he was up here.
That was very
Austin. I'm excited to watch that because
that interview.
I'm excited to watch that.
Yeah.
Because Austin just up and moved to Atlanta. And it's killing it. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, like a lot of, like I said, like I thrive off of this community that we have here because there are so many good photographers in this area. So like I thrive on creatives in general, artists, music artists, regular artists. I thrive off that. And being able to every month look forward to like, oh, it's time to do Street Meet. Let's see where we going this month. Where are we going? We're going here. We're gonna take these pictures. We're gonna chill after. We're gonna kick it. We're gonna go to the bar. Like that whole community kind of aspect was just always super important to me. So yeah, always shout out to Street Meet.
Yeah.
They've been killing it for so long too, and it's like the longevity is like perfect. Like,
and it's necessary.
Yeah. A bunch of black and brown creatives just creating one of the biggest like communities of photographers in this whole area. Come on. What's better?
Yeah, no, that's real. So where can the people find you?
Where they can find me is at Made in China. MADE, the letter N, CHYNNA. That is my name. There's no A in there. There's not only one N, it's two N's. Made, the letter N, China. I'm that on Instagram, on Twitter. I have a Facebook for Made in China Photography, but I need to update that, so don't really go there. And my website is madeinchina.com.
If anybody would like your services in any capacity, I'm not going to ask what your rates are, but what do you look from the clients that you've done work with?
I look for people to have an idea. I at least would like, I don't want you to just come to me and say I want to take pictures. Like I want to talk with you about your ideas, what you see from this, why you chose me, what do you see in my photos that make you interested. I want to talk with people about like what they want before agreeing to do anything, because it's always interesting to hear the basis of how they found me, all those different kinds of things.
Is there passion there behind the idea?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
It's the consistency.
Yes. And you know, passion comes in so many different forms. Like, there could be a person that wants to help on a passion project, but then there could also be like a person that's putting on a performance and they want you to be able to document it. That's super special to me. There's also, I'm engaged. Can you photograph me and my fiance together? Like, that's also super special to me. And honestly, that's really, I think, I don't know if I'm ever gonna like, or how deep I want to get into that, but I will say that like shooting, I guess it's kind of a full circle thing too, but like I've taken pictures of my friends when they got engaged, and then I took pictures at their wedding, and then I took pictures of them when they were pregnant. So like that's another like full circle kind of thing that just is always really special to me. And oh, I forgot. Also, community of creatives. The Instagram is community.of.creatives. Yeah, those are all the places.
Okay. Before we wrap this up, I have 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
If someone was building something, what advice would you give them?
Building anything?
Anything.
Okay. I would say write down what you want first. I would say when it comes to building it, build it like, how can I explain this? Not build it like you're dumb, but like, have you ever done those experiments in class where they're like, tell me how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? And you're just like, oh, you take the bread and the stuff and you just put it together, but then you didn't tell nobody to open the bread. Yeah. Like, you really got to be meticulous when you're thinking about the step. Yes. Yeah. I thought that was so cool. I remember my biology teacher did that, and I was like, oh, wow. I didn't tell you to do that.
Bro, I'm like that now, and like life is different.
Yeah.
Like, for the projects I'm creating, I have to send pitches to people, which means I have to write it out.
Yes.
And people will let you know by your pitch whether you did a good job or not.
Yes, because they'll tell you if it makes sense. When they read it over, it's like, this is missing something. Yeah. So like really being meticulous and following things step by step and like thinking of it as if somebody has no idea what you're talking about. I think that's really super important when it comes to building something, and also just like making sure that the passion is in it. Yeah. It doesn't matter what it is. Making sure that the passion is in it, and if the passion isn't in it, reflect on why it's not, and reflect on how it can get back to where it was. Yeah, just have fun, enjoy it.
And for you as a Black woman who's a creator in this community,
that's me.
What have you found the most joy in this process?
Connections, community. Like, oh, there's some pictures of like Black women in the pit with me. I have 2 photos of just like a long line of Black women. That never happened. So like just being able to see that and experience that is like, that makes me feel full, like really full. Like I love that. And just like being able to interact with so many different artists in this area, and it sounds crazy, but like being able to be like inspiration to other people that may be on the come up, that are other Black women that are interested. Like somebody just hit me up in my DMs yesterday. They're from Alabama, and she was like, I don't know if you're gonna see this, but I'm super interested in shooting a show. Can you help me? And like being able to even have that knowledge to impart on someone is once again makes me feel super full, and makes me feel like it's worth it. All the work that I've done is worth it at the end of the day. I just want to always be there to help people, be able to give advice, be able to provide insight when they need it. But not too much that you take too much from me. Just enough that I feel good about it and you feel good about it. Yeah.
All right, well, this has been another episode of If You Build It with China. Appreciate you pulling up on us.
Of course. Thank you so much, Juice.
Of course. See you guys next time. Peace.